First of all, congrats to all you people that managed to get entry to next year's Ring of Beara. These videos are going to go out to you guys to help you get around that route in style. My name is John Phelan, I'm a physiotherapist and I specialise in cycling rehab and bike fitting. You can check out the website www.thebikefitphysio.com or the Facebook page if you want to just see more about what I do. Right now we're going to deliver a series of videos every month, kind of leading up to the event in May, and the first topic we're going to talk about is core strength. So core strength is a real buzzword in the noughties and even the 90s, where it was just sort of blanket referred, where everybody needed to improve their core. I just want to talk about core strength in the world of cycling and go from there. First, it's important to define your core in cycling, and it's not just your deep abdominal muscles that people tend to believe. In fact, it's your deep abdominals, your deep muscles in the back, and also the deep muscles in the glutes and around your hips. So these muscles working together help stabilize your pelvis to allow you to sort of push through the pedals. There is evidence, like in a study to suggest that if your core is like fatigued, that it can actually amplify any pre-existing deficiencies that you may have. So what I mean by that is, if you already have maybe a weakness in your lower limb strength, or maybe some inflexibility in the legs, then having a fatigued core on top of that can amplify the problems in your cycling technique. So we'll talk about that when I show you guys when I'm on the bike. So just a little test you can try out there if you want to see if you have enough abdominal and trunk strength, which is part of like what core strength is, like we mentioned in the introduction. So just while you're cycling, maybe keep it in a straight road. Try and take your hands off the handlebars like so. So if you can support your own weight and cycle without holding on, then that's pretty much where you're trying to get to in terms of the trunk. We talked earlier about like the study showing how if your core muscles are fatigued, how it can exaggerate then problems down the chain of down your legs. Well, I just wanted to show you an example of that so you can look out for it. So, as the distance wears on and you start to fatigue, what can happen is the knee can start to drop in on your way down. So as I approach the top of the pedal stroke, the knee can start to drop in. Same on the right here. So you can start, this pattern can start to emerge, which can lead to knee pain and inefficiency in your pedaling. So one of the other findings from the same study was when they fatigued the participants in the study, when they fatigued their core, they found that their ankle range of movement increased. So what that meant was they were starting to drop their heels as they approached this power phase here. So ideally, as you know, we want to come in here with the heel up to keep a firm foot and keep the power through the pedal. But they found when the core had tired and fatigued, the ankles were dropping. So this means softer foot, less power through the pedal, less efficient cycling. So yeah, we showed you a test on the bike to examine your core strength. But here's one on your feet. Can you stand at home in front of a mirror and just lift a leg? So what we're looking for is you're keeping your pelvis level, right? So if you lift a leg, can you hold this level? It may look easy, but in fact if you examine it closely, you might find that some of you might lift up here or drop down here, and the idea is to try and be able to hold an imaginary line parallel with the ground, right? Another test to try out is on the bed, in this position here, and because we know with cycling we need to keep our pelvis in a neutral position. So find neutral, down, up, neutral, and then keep ourselves in neutral. Can we lift our leg and arm holding that position? And back down. So again, inability to do this would result in the pelvis losing position like so. So it becomes a test and an exercise, whereas because you can, once you know what correct is, you can keep your pelvis in neutral and then take into this position and back. So another good exercise to improve your core strength and endurance is a side plank. So for anyone who's new to it, should maybe start in this position, lifting their hips off the bed, holding a couple of seconds and return. And then as you progress, you're going for a longer lever and return. Over 15 reps, go higher so that you improve your endurance. And lastly, you can't do a deadlift without taxing your core. So it's just one of the best all-rounders for every cyclist. Just to demonstrate, down, keeping a strong center, pushing up through the hips, and then lowering back down again. Huge amount of strength coming from the glutes to bring you up, and stability in the core to keep everything in line. So just to wrap up on our first video for the Ring of Bear series, my advice would be include these exercises in your gym routine over the winter at least twice per week, and maybe have an instructor observe you with the deadlift if you're a beginner to that movement. It's quite technical, or at least have a look on some YouTube clips on that. Looking forward to part 2. Enjoy the holidays.